This video is sponsored by Raycon. More on them later. I've always liked games that are accidentally something else. We can argue over whether games can be considered art another time, but a big part of anything artistic is interpretation and how different people will get different meanings and experiences from the same source. Maybe all of this is a little too fancy for a video that's basically going to boil down to me pointing at funny glitches and saying how funny they are, but I find it interesting just how much entertainment can be derived from a mistake, something 100% unintentional. Glitches have the power to radically transform a gaming experience into something completely different, and if you're finding something hilarious in a mostly very serious game, then that's clearly not what was intended, but equally really funny. I like a bit of serious injected with something funny. We're making comedy desserts over here now! Glitches become all the more justifiable for comedy when you realise how unreliable video games are, because there's never been a game released without at least some glitches in there. However, if you're in the market for something a bit more reliable, that's where this video sponsors Raycon come in to save the day, with their premium brand of wireless earbuds with sound so crystally clear that it sounds like there's like a tiny singer in my ear. Which is weird, but that's kinda how it feels. You know, something to think about for the next model, maybe. Until then, you can take some comfort with how Raycon are perfectly suited to give you the next best thing, because these high-quality wireless earbuds have been my go-tos ever since Raycon first sent me a pair a couple of years ago now. The sound quality is so good that I've never felt the need to look elsewhere for alternatives, and since they fit so well in my pocket, I can take them pretty much anywhere I want. There hasn't been too many places to go, but I wear them while in the gym or doing some gardening, and hey, that's fine with me. Plus, with celebrity endorsements like Snoop Dogg and Mike Tyson, any onlookers you do stumble across are gonna know just from looking at you that you're rocking some tasty style to go with your rhythm. They start at half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, but sound just as good, if not better, than other competitors. And they even come with a 45-day free return policy if you're not completely satisfied with the earbuds. Their latest model, the Everyday Earbuds, is the best that Raycon has ever put out, with 6 hours of playtime, flawless Bluetooth pairing, and a more compact pocket-fitting design. Plus, they fit so nicely in my ears that no amount of head shaking will dislodge them. If this all sounds wonderful to you and you're yearning for an upgrade to your wireless earbud lifestyle that will also help to support my channel, then for a limited time you can go to buyraycon.com/rabbid to get 15% off your next order. That link is also in the video's description if, like me, you're too lazy to type all of that out. Thanks to Raycon again for sponsoring this video. Alright then, let's laugh at games going wrong. Is that what we're doing today? There's an interesting knock-on effect with funny glitches that will become fairly apparent as we go on, that the more popular glitches tend to get patched out and fixed. It makes a lot of sense, since a rise in popularity will push a glitch around social media and gaming publications, and so it puts the ball in the devs' court to do something about it. I remember reading lots of articles before Assassin's Creed Unity had even come out that it was a bit of a train wreck that Ubisoft hadn't done a lot of quality assurance on, or at least they didn't make any changes because holy shit is this game a glitchy monster. It marked a low point for this once great franchise that I reckon it hasn't truly recovered from yet, but luckily we don't have to worry about any of that because Assassin's Creed Unity has a weird habit of making people's faces disappear, so let's focus on that. I put it to you, fine people of YouTube, that few things smash through the fragile veneer of realism more than seeing a face that is missing all of its face. Assassin's Creed Unity never pretends to be the final word on all things realistic during the French Revolution, but there is something kind of amazing about having a relatively normal cutscene interrupted by the absolute horror of this staring back at you. To be fair though, I never found it all that scary beyond maybe the first time when I didn't know what was going on, but when you know that this is a fairly common glitch in Assassin's Creed Unity, you sit there during every cutscene waiting in anticipation for the cracks to show and for the seriousness of this moment to be gloriously undercut by weird face man stealing the show. I fucking love it, oh my god. Sadly, Ubisoft hate fun, so they fixed the glitch roughly a month later, leaving Unity as the worst and now one of the most boring games in this franchise. But during those first few weeks, it was a seriously entertaining game to play, and I can't fault that. Sometimes you make a bigger error trying to fix the first error. Who could say no to this face? A few years ago, Assassin's Creed was definitely in some kind of rut where all the newer games were unflatteringly comparable with the really good early ones. And I think Unity being this bad acted as kind of like a reset point where the franchise could then take stock and try and be better. Despite, the improvements and the changes made with Origins and Valhalla, there's no funky face glitch, so, there's still room for improvement. It's safe to say that Grand Theft Auto is pretty entertaining at the best of times. It's the sort of playground that doesn't really need glitches for it to be entertaining, since there are just so many avenues for keeping yourself entertained. Inevitably though, with games this big with so many moving parts, there's always the chance of glitches and things falling apart in accidentally wonderful ways. It is very hard to pick just one funny glitch out of all the GTA games, but I keep coming back to one swing set in Grand Theft Auto 4 that acts more like a catapult. Swings basically are catapults that never fire. Maybe this is why there's no kids in this game. Grand Theft Auto is hardly a stranger when it comes to cars disobeying the laws of physics, but this one set of swings in the fourth game is strong enough, apparently, to be able to launch a car a massive distance, and I think that's the sort of thing that sets fire to every law of physics that you can think of. Just gonna park the car here. Oh, see you, bye! What I keep coming back to with this glitch is just how unexpected it is. It's not like you're triggering a collision with another vehicle that the game can't quite handle properly. This is a fairly static set of swings that, for some weird fucking reason, has such an explosive power behind it that it will happily launch the biggest, heaviest vehicles halfway across the city. Yes, it's wonderful to give it a ride every now and then, but in my mind, the glitch becomes some kind of comedy gold when I imagine someone finding this by accident and being punished for brushing up against a swing set by just being thrown so far away. Honestly, it's funny every time. Hey, do you remember when I talked about popular glitches getting patched because their popularity brings them attention from the devs? Well, yeah, this is the case for most big glitches, but the exception that proves the rule is, and will always be, Bethesda, who kind of just fart out a game after a few years of development and then just sit back on their sun lounges and enjoy the chaos that ensues and never really try to patch their games. For once, that is perfectly fine. Well, that's not completely true, since I think Fallout 76 can almost be considered a video game these days, but the general rule with Bethesda and their games is that the glitches are just part of the experience. And that's actually really encouraging for a video like this, because not only are glitches incredibly common and widespread in a game like Skyrim, to the extent that you come to expect them at times, but also when you do find that one glitch that has you bursting out laughing, then it's pretty significant. Skyrim has many of these, but one that has been able to rise to the top as a legendarily hilarious event is how this game handles giants. The guys with the massive clubs. Yeah, they know how to use them. For whatever reason, giants have the ability to launch an assailant into the fucking stratosphere with just one hit from their club. An experience that becomes all the more hilarious when it happens to you and you just drift gracefully through the air. I think it has something to do with how Skyrim calculates knockback, and since the giants do so much damage relative to your HP, they end up multiplying the base knockback by a ton, and that's why you're dead before you even hit the ground. I don't know why, but every time I see a giant in this game, I let him launch me into the air, and I think maybe because I just don't believe that it will happen every time, but yeah, it does. Apparently Bethesda are aware of this glitch and acknowledge that it isn't supposed to happen, but they too find this absolutely hilarious and so did nothing about it. That's good that there's some variety to their inaction over glitches. Don't know why all these billionaires are spending so much on getting to space. I bet giants are cheap. Sonic games and glitches go together like Activision Blizzard and sexual predatory in the workplace. Not every Sonic game has had glitches, but the ones that do are absolute spectacles because of what the glitches bring to the table. Except Sonic Forces, I guess. That game could have done with more glitches to help keep me awake. The amount of choice I have for a video like this is kind of ridiculous, and a testament to the dedication shown by Sonic Team to ensure that their games are as broken as possible. And while Sonic 06 would be a worthy representative of all sorts of wonky physics and skybox breaking shenanigans, I can't ignore the contributions that Sonic Boom has made to the world. Nah, seriously, I think the world would be a darker place if this game wasn't such an absolute dumpster fire that struggles to find a redeeming feature that was actually intended by the developers. I say that because you can barely take 2 steps without tripping over a glitch that fundamentally changes how you play the game, and as soon as people realized that pausing the game while Knuckles was in the middle of a jump would reset the jump, suddenly this game is amazing. I've long maintained that Sonic Boom is the only true rival of Sonic 06 for the coveted title of Worst Sonic Game, of which there is a healthy amount of competition, but those 2 games have such an interesting attitude towards glitches and how much they disrupt the overall flow of gameplay. The moment-to-moment gameplay is not possible most of the time because glitches are everywhere. If you chose to use Knuckles' super jump in Sonic Boom, it renders most of the game pointless and trivial. And that's exactly what I'm after. We can debate later about whether the presence of a glitch as fun as this actually boosts Sonic Boom as a video game, but then again, we don't have to, because those fuckers at Sega decided to patch it shortly after release. They see a game with this many problems and decide to fix the one glitch that makes Sonic Boom a lot of fun. Thanks for that, you joyless dipshits. It's not even like it improves the overall product, much apart from stopping you from reaching areas that shouldn't be available to you. It's like helping out in an earthquake disaster site with a dustpan and brush. Those blissful days though, when Knuckles was able to fly over cliffs and take you to previously unseen locations that broke the fabric of this game down to its raw components. The levels of absurdity behind it were amazingly funny, and I still get a kick out of it now. I know Sega will still keep trying to make a capable 3D Sonic game in the future, but I'd actually love it more if they lent into the franchise's history of glitches and unfinished games by making something a bit more meta. Maybe Knuckles' funky flying could be an actual feature in the future. The bar is set so low these days. I asked around before making this video, and the glitch that came up a lot was this weird one from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, where Jigglypuff gets really big. I actually remember seeing this on a very early YouTube video and trying it out for myself, and yeah, it's definitely funny and can have some wacky side effects for sure, but this is Smash Bros. You better believe that we can go deeper. There are so many glitches in these games that are either patched out of updates or game breaking to the point of being banned in competitive play, for how ice climbers can freeze someone in place and pummel them to death, but we're in the market for funny glitches, and frankly I still can't get over that one time when Smash Bros Ultimate let you summon an infinite number of assist trophies. I didn't know that I wanted way too many Rathalosses in my Nintendo fighting game until just now. Oh my god! I mean, Smash Ultimate definitely has value outside of a crazy glitch that fundamentally alters how the game is played, but to me, this speaks to the more casual side of Smash Bros, where you don't have to worry so much about competitive viability and zero to death combos, and you can just fling random shit at each other instead. Item games are wonderful and capture just how insane this game can be, but having a glitch where assist trophies come out in rapid succession is like the natural peak of all of this. Very hard to get any kind of proper fighting going when an infinite number of Waluigis are curb stomping you into oblivion, but this is a sight that I'm still trying to process properly. I am shocked and more than a little impressed that having this much happen on screen doesn't cause the Nintendo Switch to crash and burn at the mere prospect of perpetual assist trophies, but here we are. Obviously, Nintendo patched the shit out of this as soon as they could because just look at it, but a large part of me wishes that Nintendo could have kept this in somehow. The criteria to activate it is so specific since you need 2 lots of Isabelle to fish for the same trophy and then carnage, but that's never happening in any kind of regular play. I can't believe they got rid of the world's hardest game of Pac-Man and an infinite number of moon apocalypses. Can we make the next Smash Bros game just more of this, please? I don't think anyone would complain. I do wonder if having infinite assist trophies is only funny because it wasn't intentional, or because of just the sheer chaos it generates. I don't think you could ever make a game like this deliberately. This is RabbidLuigi, and if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, there's a video right there about games that are too realistic and why that's a stupid bad thing. And also, I want to thank my top supporters on Patreon, including Joe Creamer, AJ887 and Devin Hutt. Thank you all for watching, and infinite Waluigis will inherit the world.